Thank you. Thank you for joining, guys. This is episode 9 of the Drew Pavlu Show, and today is a special memorial video for Pope Francis. And it is actually sad. I'm a Greek Orthodox Christian, but I went to Catholic school all my life, and I had a lot of respect for Pope Francis. I had my disagreements with him on China and Russia, but I think at the core he was a compassionate man. I'm just going to quickly post up the link, guys. Special. Why are you starting so late? I just finished filming up a video. I'll have my next YouTube video out tomorrow, and it's going to be it's from when I was in Ukraine, and it's like, I went to a gun range and I fired a rifle. It was good fun. So I was just filming that, and it was a long day. I'm actually pretty tired. It's 10:53 right now. 10:53 Brisbane time. Let me know, guys, what time is it for you, wherever you are. Special live stream to remember Pope Francis. Links get boosted. Yeah, I know it sucks. Like, I fucking hate Twitter I hate Elon doing that. You reckon I should just post it and then maybe I put, hang on. Let me get a photo of Pope Francis up, and I'll just, hang on, guys. I'm just getting the, put it as a reply. I will put it as a reply. That's a good idea, actually. Open image in a new tab. Beautiful. There you go. And I'll post this. I'll post the photo. And let me just post this up, and I'll post the link as a reply. Try to get some more people onto the YouTube. I hate that Elon has deboosted all the links. Link below. Do you reckon they deboost it if you even say link? I'm not sure. That Elon would be the type to do that. Okay, posting. All right. Time for bed, end on me, Khalifa. That's actually not funny. It's not funny at all. Don't even say link, you reckon? Okay, I'll have to repost that. It's hard these days, guys. It's hard. Okay. I'll just say see post below. Now, tell me, guys, how are you feeling right now? It is actually quite shocking that Pope Francis died. I was actually quite shocked by this. Nin Fox says hello. Hello, thank you for joining us. It's good. It's good that I haven't checked in on Twitter for a couple of hours. It's good that my post is going well. It's true. I call on JD Vance to meet with Vladimir Putin right away to talk about peace deal in Ukraine. 800,000 views. That's crazy. Yeah, gee, isn't it crazy? Like, literally his last meeting was with JD Vance. That's just brutal. Easter Monday of all days too. Gee, it's actually crazy. It actually really is genuinely such a crazy thing. You've mentioned you like Christopher Hitchens in the past. No. This is the funny thing, right? Like, I actually think Christopher Hitchens' atheist stuff was kind of cringe. Like, I don't really like get into the new atheist stuff. I just like his like general vibe, the general vibe that Christopher Hitchens had against, like, authoritarian figures, tankies and fascists and stuff like that. I respect Christopher Hitchens. But on the atheist stuff, like, I never really got into the new atheist stuff. I've certainly gone through periods of my life where I was pretty secular but I don't think I've ever been an atheist. I think at worst I was probably an agnostic. But I think, over the past few years, I did definitely go back into a bit of my Christian faith, I'd say. Does Vance have the handshake of death? Well, we just asked JD Vance to go and meet with Putin and talk about peace right away. 2 likely successors for the late Pope Francis: Pietro Parolin, moderate; Luis Antonio Tagle, supporter of Francis. It'd be really interesting. I'm not sure the likelihood of this, but if it's like Cardinal Sarah or something like that, one of those conservative African priests, I think the Groypers would be they'd really struggle with that. If the Groypers would struggle if you had Cardinal Sarah, Because on one hand they'd be like, based, he's really right wing, but on the other hand they'd be like, he doesn't fit our model of Aryanism. But the Groypers are not Aryan themselves, so I mean, I'm just I'm just saying the Groypers would struggle with that. Hitchens argued that God himself was a dictator and heaven represented divine North Korea. I don't think that's true. So that's the thing, right? Like I really like I like Christopher Hitchens as a writer and everything. I really like Christopher Hitchens, like his style, how he took on authoritarianism and stuff, but I don't really agree with him on the religion stuff. Respect to the Pope for not spending his last day doing stuff, not dying. Dude, it's crazy that like he literally did a homily, I think, from the Vatican steps, like literally the day before. Like I saw a photo of him yesterday. It's crazy. Do you think Cardinal Tagle has a chance? Look, guys. Unfortunately, I don't really know what's going to happen inside the Papal Electoral College. The ultra conservatives are all over X, claiming he will be the next pope. You mean Sarah? It'd be interesting. What are people saying? Let me just repost the link. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Look, I have to say I don't agree with the Evo Morales stuff. Evo was a would-be dictator. Thoughts on Protestantism? Look, I'm an Orthodox Christian. Fair enough on Hitchens. Would you say you're a theist who believes God intervenes in the affairs of community, or a deist who believes that God is indifferent? Look, I believe that God is present in the world and present in all human beings, etc. I believe all human beings have the divine grace of God. I'd say though that, obviously that presents the problem of evil, and my response to the problem of evil is a pretty standard Christian approach. I think the problem of evil arises from the problem of free will, and essentially, I think, unfortunately, you can't have free will without some people being evil, and that's the sad thing. Someone says, "Do you think a transgender will win?" No, I don't think that. Whoever will be next, Shane or Francis will not be topped. Ian Miles, what's his name, is pushing it. Ian Miles Chong, he's saying that Cardinal Sarah, right? Yeah, Ian Miles Chong. Everyone knows he's a papal. He has the finger on the pulse when it comes to papal politics. Ian Miles Chong. Everyone you don't like Drew is a dictator, correct? No, only the actual dictators like Putin and Xi. Malaki claims to hate you, but he is your biggest fan. Yeah, no, thanks Malaki for joining every single stream and commenting constantly. Vietran says, "What's up? Hey Vietran, how are you going, man? You're in Vietnam, so what's the time in Vietnam right now? Is it like 9 p.m.? 2 hours behind me, I think." Look, Nandor, I think he said some bad things on Ukraine, but the man just died. To respond to Easy Money's question, it is likely that Parallel will win because he has broad support, but Tangle may win because Francis is appointed 108 of 135 eligible voters who may support him. Wow, so Francis kind of stacked out the Electoral College. Interesting. Thoughts on Ozpil? You know what's really funny? I actually knew Ozpil before he became Ozpil. I knew him years and years ago when I was campaigning against the CCP before he became really right wing and everything. I think if he just stuck to criticism of migration, like for example Jordan Knight does, I think he'd be fine. I think lately he's been pushing into pretty hard right areas, and he goes very hard against Indians and stuff. And look, I don't hold any prejudice against anybody based on the color of their skin and whatnot. I think Ozpil's funny, but look, he's a lot more right wing than I am, and there are a lot of conservatives who are critical of open borders, migration, and stuff like that. But I don't think you have to go to this whole extent of Ozpil. 8 p.m. in Vietnam. Are you a scatterbrain, Drew? Yeah, I've got ADHD. You have to say that. Ozpil isn't super right wing, dude. He put Thomas Sewell in an edit, which I thought was a bit disappointing because Thomas Sewell and co, they've encouraged people to kill me before. But look, Ozpil, I knew him before. I knew Ozpil before he became Ozpil. You're just left wing, Drew. I'm not even. I don't think any left winger actually thinks I'm left wing. I'd say I'm classical liberal. Thoughts on Joel and I've got views for example, I want to decrease migration in Australia. I don't have standard lefty views on a lot of things. Thoughts on Joel Davis? Hate the bloke. He encouraged people to kill me and my family. Fuck him. Look, I think there was a lot to be desired with Pope Francis when it comes to his stance on Ukraine. It's a shame. How's Captain Dreamer, the receding hairline man, going? I think Captain Dreamer was struggling a bit today. Let me show you guys what Captain Dreamer was saying. He was fucking schizo. So Captain Dreamer, like literally was like cheering on Pope Francis dying, and he was posting like just really heinous far right shit, like joking about his death, saying that Pope Francis like deserved it because he advocated open borders and shit. Like Captain Dreamer is like really fucking schizo. Let's see. Has Greatest Guy showed up yet? No, he was there yesterday, but he hasn't yet. Are you voting for Elbow? I don't like Elbow. I don't like Elbow, but I don't like Dutton either. Why does it seem like a lot of anti-migration sentiment boils down to racism? Well, I'm not racist at all. I don't hold any prejudice against anybody on the basis of race. My reason I think that migration needs to be lower in Australia is simply because, one, we don't have enough housing to, house new migrants in a lot of cases, and two, another thing is social cohesion. And obviously, you want to try and avoid allowing people into the country if they have extremist views and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I think we've failed at that a bit. If you're a scatterbrain, then you spending your youth 24/7 on an X is very unhealthy for you. That's not what I do though. I write blogs, I make videos, I do lots of other things. Lol Jew is not left wing. Pope Francis appointed an Australian Cardinal, Mykola Bikchok, who's actually Ukrainian Greek Catholic. Interesting. Ozpil is so cringe. Hello, how you going? Salute. The dog salutes you as well. Look. What I'm going to say on Ozpil, I think it's very sad that he put Thomas Sewell in an edit. Like Thomas Sewell is like full blown, extremist. Voting for Labor does not make you left wing. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Labor is literally a pro-trans and pro-immigration party. We need to abolish. Then Malachi says we need to abolish negative gearing and This is the problem, right? I've got like 25 people watching on YouTube, and all the comments are just from I get some nice people following, but some of these people are fucking annoying, I have to say. I'm really baffled as to why so many Catholic groypers trads suck Putin when he bans and persecutes Catholics in occupied Ukraine. Yeah, dude, because they're like mentally ill, literally. Swindon reckons Labor's communist. Labor's not communist. That's stupid. I would def think Captive Dreamer's user pick is some lib meme mocking MAGA incels, but it turns out he actually is him. Yeah, he literally made a post the other day saying rest in peace, Waco. Have you experienced racism as someone with a Cypriot background? Not really. I have to say, not really. When I was a kid, maybe a little tiny bit. Not really, I have to say. There are white immigrants too. The number in general has to be reduced so housing and infrastructure can catch up. Yeah, of course. When I say that, we have to reduce the number of migration. I'm not saying it's what I wouldn't be like, but have a massive carve out so we have 50 million people from Germany move in. We just literally don't have enough homes. Do you have a Discord or something? I've heard. Yeah, Vietran, I do. Message me on Twitter or something like that. I'll send it to you. When's the next Uyghur rallies? There's not really any Uyghur rallies right now, sadly. Drew, how have you moved politically in the last 5 years? You seem to move right for a bit in reaction to cringe internet tanking and now move a bit back to left. That's true. Maybe I'm a bit contrarian by nature, but in reaction to internet tankies, I maybe became a bit more conservative over the years. But I think right now MAGA is just being so destructive and so retarded and so insane that it really shows a huge part of the far right is crazy. So, and the huge part of the right wing in America is crazy. So yeah, look, I'd have to say my views have shifted a lot. Easy Money says, Ozpil hates people that look like me. I'm sad you don't have more negative feelings towards him. Dude, look, when I knew, this is the problem, right? I knew him back before he was Ozpil. And when I knew him, he had Asian friends and he was a normal guy. He was a nice guy in person. So it's hard. It's very hard, right? I disagree with a lot of his political views. I can see by how often you post that you are on X 24 hours a day. It's a very sad way to spend your 20s. I make $1,000 every 2 weeks on my Twitter, so I'm happy to make my Twitter money. Fuck you. Labor's pro-trans and pro-immigration. They're communists. You heard it here today. Oh, shit. Someone found out Pope Francis died from my live stream title. That's sad. Truth Nuke, yeah. Oh, my God. Our greatest guy's shown up, and he started doing insane comments. Captain Dreamer is a Satanist. Yeah, I'm not surprised, because look at his stuff about Pope Francis. He's literally a Satanist. Would you go into space as a tourist if given the chance, like Katy Perry? Nah, I don't think I would. And who do you think is going to build all those new houses? Look, the funny thing is, Arabella, like there's literally a carve out of migration. The Labor government has literally carved out construction workers from migration because of the union. So when it comes to migration, like we actually aren't really taking in construction workers. Forget the housing argument. All it gets you is matchstick has it best and slums at worst. Denmark is a great example of migration policy, not shutting the door, but putting limits and requiring to actually commit to society or country you enter. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Denmark is a good model. Drew is ableist and constantly throwing out the retard slur. He mocks the weakest in our society. Dude, I use it as a synonym for dumb. I would never use it against somebody who's actually disabled. Just get a grip, okay? Apparently, all the migration has caused the housing crisis. Look, in January, Alan Kohler, who's like literally like a center-left economist, said that demand for housing in Australia was double supply. So it is unfortunately a big part of it. Okay, nice answer. Welcome back, center-left Drew. Win poster. Drew, if you visited China today, would you get arrested? Look, I literally had the Chinese government in 2023, the Australian Federal Police like brought me into the police station in Brisbane, and they told me they had intercepted a foreign interference plot to find my address and harm me in Australia. So I wouldn't trust going to China, unfortunately. Thoughts on the CFMEU? Just a bunch of hard yakka blokes doing construction work. Can't go wrong, mate. Here, bloody here. Did you get into the beers before you start? No, I actually don't drink at all. Like, I just don't even like the taste. I don't even know why. I mean, Captain Dream is a fan of David Koresh. He claimed to be a messianic figure, even taking the title Lamb of God, which traditionally refers to Jesus Christ alone. That's a major red flag. Yeah, dude, Koresh is evil, and he was literally like a pedo, and he ordered his followers to kill themselves in like mass suicide. Drew, can you visit the Gold Coast? We can get drinks. Yeah, sure, man. But I don't drink. I'll just have lemon lime bitters. I normally just have I normally just have soft drink when I go out. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show everyone. You seem to be a great supporter of Robert Potter on X. Yeah, I'm friends with Rob. I went over and met with him in Ukraine. Yeah, he helped make that trip possible because he was going in like an armored convoy to the front lines, and he basically said, like, do you want a seat in our car? So I love Rob. He's a good bloke, great bloke. I'm going to hopefully do a podcast with him this week. He's just a mate of mine, and we just obviously see very closely eye to eye on Ukraine and stuff like that. No drinking, no smoking, no gambling. Bro, you Ned Flanders. The funny thing is, like, my actual life, I don't actually do crazy shit in my personal life. I get a lot of my excitement from arguing with people online, and I find fun in like literally just like reading books and reading the news and stuff like that. In person, maybe I'm a little bit more restrained and a bit quiet as a human being. That is true. Koresh was evil. Waco's situation was obviously handled poorly by the FBI at the exact same time. It's very sad. They should have arrested Koresh when he went to a strip mall nearby. Obviously, the way they handled it was a fucking disaster. Yeah, but look, this is what I wanted to show everyone. Captain Dreamer was literally mocking the death of Pope Francis. So I think keep that in mind when you have a look at Captain Dreamer's post. He pushed open borders and hated Europe. This guy, he really does actually hate Western civilization. So what can you do? Okay, cardinals likely to become pope. Pietro Parolin, considered a moderate, against surrogacy and gender ideology. Peter Erdo from Hungary, conservative with standards against refugee acceptance and liberal interpretations of church doctrine. Louis Tagle, politically left-leaning, supportive of LGBT rights. Wow, okay, that's very interesting. Matteo Zuppi, modernist and left-leaning, more liberal than Karl even more Tage. Wow. Leo Burke, an arch-conservative critical of Pope Francis's reforms. So now we know who JD Vance wants. Willem Jacobus Ejik, known for conservative views, particularly on marriage. Peter Codwo Turkson, moderate, against the criminalization of homosexuality. That's quite moderate. Malcolm Ranjith, against LGBT rights and altar girls. Gerhard Ludwig Muller, conservative critical of Pope Francis. Interesting, very interesting. Let's see who gets it. I wonder who will get it. Are we getting a calling out bad empanada segment? Yes, we will do that actually. Do you suspect you've ever been targeted by Honeytop by a foreign agent trying to discredit or blackmail you? No, I don't think so, guys. I live a pretty normal life, to be honest. I'm not going around being crazy. Australia should get nukes, yay or nay? Yeah, I actually legitimately think that Australia should get nukes because you have to defend Australia. If we can't rely on the American alliance, what are we going to do? We have to have nukes. Yes, Pickles Drew sits around reading pro-Zionist politics books and said, totally fun guy. Yep, suck shit. Why did you switch up on my boy, Nicholas Decker? Stay on that side. Oh, I actually think it's funny now. The fact that he got like kicked out of his house and then he's still like supporting like landlords and stuff. I just think he's a funny bloke. Gee, that's interesting. Lord Miles like hates black people, but he reckons that Cardinal Sarah should be the next pope. Wow. Okay. He says, oh my God, of course. I believe around 3% of blacks are able to operate, and he's one of them. Holy fuck. That's crazy. He's fucking hardcore, like pretty fash Lord Miles. Like he's pretty fucking psycho. That's a cool photo of Pope Francis, I have to say. That is a cool photo of Pope Francis. Rest in peace. We did lose a real one. We literally did lose a real one. Risto says, yo, Risto, thanks for joining in. That's a good tweet by Erna. I agree with that. That's pretty brutal. This is pretty brutal that, like, it's literally... Truth says, did you block me? No, you're literally commenting right now. How could you be blocked? Win dude, he was a bouncer. Who are you talking about, Vietran? I don't think I say his thoughts on edging. Fuck off, cunt. Seriously. Avi Yemini, what do you think of him? He changed his view on Ukraine, and I respect that. I helped him see the light when it came to Ukraine. Oh, Pope Francis was a bouncer. Good on him. Good on him. That's cool. He did have a good life. I don't know. I kind of feel like he did have some pretty like lefty geopolitical views, though. Wagwan, street slang is to be Britain's main dialect. Wow, isn't that inspirational? I'm gonna retweet that. I love that. I love that UK aesthetics account by Cunley Drakpa. He's funny as hell. 17 watching the locale right now. Wahoo! Thanks for commenting, bro. Help me get those numbers up. When Trump passes away on the toilet like I was, will Elon or Peter Thiel try to preserve his brain like in RoboCop 2? Great question. Great question. Did Francis hate Israel? He did seem to be pretty anti-Zionist. I have to say that. He did seem to be pretty anti-Zionist. Oh, that's funny. So the DUP has put out a comment reflecting on the passing of Pope Francis, saying he was held in deep affection by many in Northern Ireland. And it's interesting, yeah, because Ian Paisley in the 60s said this Romish man of sin is now in hell. He organized protests against the lowering of flags on public buildings to mark the Pope's death. Wow. Someone say DUP is not what it used to be. Not going to comment on the possibility of Robo-Trump. Robo-Trump, that'd be brilliant. What's UQ campus life like these days? Many radical Chinese nationalists or Islamists? There was a lot of like Islamist stuff on campus, especially like over the past year with the Palestine stuff. Wait, being low-cow is bad. Lamayo, buddy, it is beneficial. Dude, I don't care what they call me. Yeah, dude. There's UQ campus is amazing because you do get radical Chinese nationalists and you get Islamists as well, and what an amazing fusion that you get on campus. That's a beautiful tweet by Shark Zedeh. He's funny as fuck. I love Shark Zedeh. He's funny as fuck. Are you okay? I'm Persian. Shark Zedeh is funny as fuck. If you guys haven't seen my podcast with him, you should go and see that. He's funny as fuck. He like fights with all the Salafi jihadists. I love this guy. He's so fucking smart. Like he just like fights with the Salafi jihadists all the time. It's pretty funny. Like these guys made this to like troll him. A Muslim once asked Shark Zedeh, "O Imam of all gay Persian poetry and Sheikh of Shias, why do you look so depressed?" Heaving a sad sigh, Shark Zedeh replied, "How can I smile when there are halal rice cuts outside my Brooklyn apartment?" And then he just posted real. He's a funny as fuck guy. Love the scrolling Twitter content. It's important. We're getting a lot of theory here. What would you support them? That's not even funny. Come on, guys. Stop asking me about Mia Khalifa. Stop asking me. Oh, fuck off. Would you ever consider doing jackass style stunts like jumping into a cactus? Fuck off, cunt. Seriously. Shagzadeh has such a good Twitter account. Look at this one. Like, he's interesting. This is our intellectual culture, just memorization, no analysis, no critical thought, and then we wonder why we fall behind. He's a very incisive critic of Islamism. Very incisive critic of Islamism. This was a good one. So I had this fight with this guy. I'll show you guys this whole exchange. So this guy, Xavier, he was having a meltdown about the Ukrainians saying, so unfair, the Palestinians should be allowed to have child soldiers, blah, blah, blah. There's a video of some Ukrainian kids shooting guns at a rifle range. And he posted it and he goes, this is so unfair. Why can't the Palestinians have Hamas child soldiers? And I said, fuck off, Xavier, you stupid Wahhabi cunt. You're not even a real Muslim. You're a revert. And then they got so mad at me, 230,000 views. I got so many jihadists just so fucking mad at me. A revert is a Muslim, you retarded. And how is what he even said wrong? And who the fuck gave you the real Muslim title? A revert is a Muslim, you brain dead dog. The internet gave you confidence. I can strip right out of your soul if we bumped heads. Dude, this is the guy. This was the guy, the original guy who became like a jihadist. Anyway, so how did it start? So I told him fuck off. And then this guy goes, a revert is a true Muslim. I responded, I will consult my Muslim intellectual friend Shagzadeh. Are low class and low IQ Muslim reverts true members of the faith? And Shagzadeh said, Westerners are not sending their best. They're not sending their brightest. They're not sending you. They're sending low IQ thugs to become Muslim. We need a total moratorium on conversion until we can figure out what the hell is going on. You know the recent drama with Muhammad Hijab and his secret marriage? Yeah, dude, I posted about that and it got like 1 million views. I got to try find it. That was insane. That was fucking insane. Let me find that. Oh yeah, here it is. Holy fuck. That was so mental, dude. So 1.1 million views. He would have seen it. So this is a screenshot of Muhammad Hijab talking to some girl. And he goes, like, he basically said, I would have thought that the issues of Palestine would make you take heed. And like, he was basically saying like, this woman had to have sex with him over Palestine. Like, these guys are fucking mental, man. I think Drew was one of the guys that broke it. I didn't break it, but I just posted about it and it got like 1 million views. So I guess it did like help get it out there a lot. How many people we got right now? 20 people on YouTube, 920 on Twitter. Halan Nikah. I'll quickly just, I'll just quickly repost my stream. Ask me questions, guys. What are your thoughts on the notion of the benevolent dictator? How do you rate Lee Kuan, the Shan, and Tito Ortiz? Like, look, I still support democracy at the end of the day, but they're a lot better than like Maoism. They're a lot better than like, you know, all the other forms of autocracy, basically. Drew could be cool if he smoked more weed and chilled out, stop being so aggressive pro-war. Dude, I've never advocated war. I don't know what you're talking about. MAGA is postmodernist. I'll share that. Good on you, James Lindsay. That's pretty good. I like Slazak. I think I'm gonna do a stream with Slazak in the future, in the coming days ahead. Oh wow, Adam Bent put out a post. Yep, liking that. Virtue signaling loser. Adam Bent like hates Christianity, so don't pretend that you're mourning Pope Francis. Somebody asked, do you think Slazak is cute? Thank you, I'm straight, guys. Someone's created an electoral college for the papal election. Political makeup of voting cardinals. Progressive cardinals, 17. Soft progressive, 45. Moderate or ambiguous, 25. Soft conservative, 47. Conservative, 4. Do you think a democracy where voting power is practiced based on education and intellectual is actually better? The problem is that intellectuals always produce the worst politics. Like Pol Pot was a supposed intellectual, Mao was an intellectual. All these guys are like the worst of the worst. You know, unfortunately, it's the word cells. Like myself, I suppose. At the end of the day, I'm a word cell because I'm a humanities guy. But unfortunately, the humanities cells do seem to produce a lot of terrible politicians and terrible political leaders. It's a very it's a sad thing. Um, Drew, thoughts on Hassan Yusuf? Is that the son of Hamas guy? I think he's like too brutal in the way he speaks. You know. Um, Gee, this is interesting. Rather than Chinese capitalism converging towards Western standards as optimists expected decades ago, Western capitalism is rapidly converging towards Chinese standards. Wow. Economic model characterized by protectionism, constraints on foreign investment, subsidies, and industrial policy. Essentially nationalist state capitalism. That's brutal. Do you know who IO on Twitter is? I'm not sure. IO. I might have seen him before, I think. The dollar's decline is making the euro look like a chart of gold. Damn, if you were a euro right now, you'd be laughing. Stunning turns. I was literally shitposting Omar. Omar's so annoying. Doesn't even let me shitpost. The Shah of Iran. Look, obviously, I would have preferred it to be a democracy, but it's obviously a lot better than like the regime right now. The regime right now is just like horrific. Drew Pablo Sopranos watch along when. That's actually a good idea. I think I've seen the first season. I still need to watch the rest. I would actually for sure do that. That'd be fun. State monopolist capitalism is a school of thought very popular among Middle European social democrats since before Red China got visited by Nixon. Have you been to Cyprus? I went when I was 12 years old. I went when I was 12. I went when I was 12 years old. It's a good place. I enjoyed it a lot. It was beautiful to see Cyprus. I would like to go again. But look, yeah, Australia is my true home. It's hard because I don't speak Greek, right? So when I went there, like, it's hard when you don't speak Greek. Can you guys hear the audio? Shit was so annoying. Greatest guy. Drew kind of looks like Savannah's unbelieving like Ben. El Dingo. I lived there last year actually. Gee, really? Okay, that's cool. Well, I know there's heaps of British guys who go there. Making fun of Douglas Murray. Well, I remember the clip of him shutting down someone doing acting voice. So cringe. You back on the dating market, Drew? No, I'm very happily taken. When I checked the hijab drama, I was laughing my ass out. When I see her name is Asha, but sadly it was the name she used, not the name of her dad. Which one are you talking about, Vietram? Vance needs to be negotiating with Putin immediately. Amen. I agree. Dude, he legit could be the Antichrist, Elon. I think Elon like legitimately could be the Antichrist. Why are there like bumps in his fucking skin? That's creepy. Oh, this one's so funny. I think I might have seen this on the stream yesterday. Islamicize. No genocide, no capitalism. Just call the prayer echoing through the Rockies. Would have been so peaceful under the Ottomans. They don't know what genocide looks like at all. Come on, guys. The secret marriage girl. She spoke on multiple videos about hijab. Oh, you're talking about Muhammad Hijab. You're talking about the girl that. So what actually ended up happening? Like, what happened? He like, how did it work? I don't know how this worked. Like, so he like, was he cheating on someone or something like that? A lot of British planes take off from the British base on Cyprus and turn off their transponders halfway towards Gaza. I met Air Force dudes who say humanitarian relief. I don't know what's happening there. Drew, how are you voting at the election? I seriously, it's hard, guys. It's hard because I really don't really like I don't like major parties right now in Australia, but I hate the Greens as well. Ottomans only got a taste of blood after D-Day. Ottomans were evil as hell, guys. They committed a lot of genocide. Oh, it's pretty brutal. Listen up, liberals. Kills the Pope. That's a good tweet. I think Jetty is, up there with these evil figures. The Greens support terrorism. Well said. I hate the Greens, seriously. Oh, this is funny. Okay, let's watch this. Can you guys tell me if the audio is working? Rank Destiny, Vaush, and Hassan. Vaush has to be 3 because of the horse porn shit. Hassan has to be 2, but he really should be equal 3 with Vaush. Destiny number 1. No, kind of pump and dumb, using some Islamic laws to spin it. But she wasn't like 100% honest on everything. But I do realize the biggest enemy of Islam is ex-Muslim. Yeah. Drew, when will you be selling your rug merchandise? We'll look into that. That's a good idea. You can't hear, really. Okay, hang on. Let me try again. Share screen. Oh. Yeah, okay. Tell me if you guys can hear.
This idea, they're so based over there. Like, this idea that people are shitting on Arabs all over, especially on fucking Twitch. Give me a fucking break, dude. Please stop. Please stop this. Nobody is shitting on Frogan because she is a fake Muslim or because she wears hijabi. They shit on her because she looks like Thomas the Tank Engine and because she has like 15 different deeply unlikable personality traits that she cannot wait to show off every single waking moment of her fucking stream. Holy fuck. Like, she is so unlikable. I don't know anybody that's been surrounded by this many people and has failed to attract any viewership whatsoever. You can't just sit here and say it's because they're all anti-fucking Islamic. Please.
Dude, that's a good point. That's a good point. Hassan constantly shills Frogan. All these guys just fully shill Frogan all the time. iDubbbz literally let her dance in the background of the video or whatever. How many people does she get watching? Let me try find Frogan. 60,000 followers on Twitch. How many people does she get? How many people does Frogan get on her views? Obviously a lot more than me, but she's had literally every single fucking lefty streamer shill the fuck out of her. Whereas I'm just starting from nothing. I'm a bloke on a fucking mission, fully independent. No one supports me. I'm gonna fucking make it on my own. It'd be cool if these guys did support me. Not Hassan, I mean these other people. But I will make it on my fucking own. Nobody gives me a chance. Nobody has ever handed me things. I'm persecuted, but I'm going to make it on my own. Do you worry about what becoming an internet celebrity could do to your future as a lawyer? Do you want to be seen as a sober, serious personality, or are you all in on social media? Dude, if I couldn't be a lawyer because I've got too many followers online, fuck being a lawyer. I'd like to be a lawyer, but I'd prefer to have a following and I can share my thoughts about things, write blogs on Substack, make YouTube videos. I'd honestly prefer that. I have to say, honestly. Can someone tell me how many views Frogan normally gets? I know she gets more than me, but come on. I'm starting from nothing. I'm starting from nothing, like 8,000 people on my YouTube. No one shills me. No one supports me. I'm hated by everybody. I'm fully independent. Don't fit in any category or bracket. Everyone fucking hates me. And I'm making it on my own. I'm making it on my own through strength of will. I've done 9 days of streaming in a row. 9 days of streaming in a row. I'm going to make it on my own. I'm going to make it on my own. Inshallah, in 100 days, the streaming audience will be a lot bigger. Don't worry, we can all feel happy we handled porn drama instead of taking care of the dictator ruling the world. Oh man, Epstein and his Discord leaks or something else. Drew hasn't looked into it. Fuck off, greatest guy. Such an annoying cunt. Views on Twitch. Yeah, I think she's mainly on Twitch. How's Vash's sex thing worse than Destiny's? Man, it was like horse porn, wasn't it? That's pretty fucked up. Like, you have to say, like, horse porn's pretty fucked up. And it's a sad thing because I used to like a lot of Vash's takes, but the horse porn thing is bad. Lameo, Destiny had a studio set up in New York with Pisco that was cancelled because the criminal sexual blackmail scam. Dude, who gives a fuck? Why are you so obsessed with Destiny? Dude, I've never even talked to Destiny person to person. I've never once talked to Destiny person to person. I was going to go on his podcast. It fell through. I like Destiny. I've never even talked to him though. I'm not even like close friends with him. I don't know why this greatest guy is like fucking obsessed with me and fucking obsessed with Destiny. I like Destiny, but I don't even know the guy. Drew, what is your favorite political party in the world, not including your own? Oh yeah, good question actually. I don't know. That's a fucking tough one. Maybe Macron's party. I like Macron a lot. If I had to choose a world leader that I really like right now, it'd be Emmanuel Macron. Do you feel any Cypriot at all? Yeah, I feel Cypriot. I mean, I'm fully ethnically Cypriot. Like my family on both sides are Greek Cypriot for as long as we can remember. I feel Cypriot. I'm proud of Greek culture. We had Greek Easter yesterday. I loved it. It was good fun. I was cracking the Greek Easter eggs with the AR. So I love Greek culture. At the end of the day, though, like, you know, I am mainly Australian. I'm mainly Australian. Is it hard to distinguish your friends from foes online sometimes? Not really. I can tell who fucking hates me or not. Like, it's pretty obvious. Like, for example, Viet Tran. He's a nice bloke. I know Viet Tran's on my side. This greatest guy. I know he's a fucking evil cunt who hates me. So I think you need to update the info about Destiny. He really needs to own up to it. Democrats, Epstein, AFD. Macron hates Israel though, doesn't he? Does he? I don't think he hates Israel. I think he's like two-state solution. I'm two-state solution at the end of the day. Macron did shut down some of the extremist schools, and I respect that. You have to be a liberal who stands for something. Frogan, 238 average viewers. Okay, let me say one thing here, right? That's a lot more than I currently get. But can I say one thing? If I was getting shilled constantly, 24/7 by Hassan, the biggest political streamer on the planet, I reckon I'd probably be doing better than Frogan, 230 average viewers. Come on, guys, that's terrible. You're getting literally shilled constantly by these retarded communists who have like 1 million subscribers. You can't even reach 230 average viewers. I'm getting about 20 to 30 average viewers, and no one's backing my podcast. No one's backing any of my YouTube. No one's backing any of the stuff that I'm doing. I'm not getting shilled like Hassan. I'm just literally on my own, and that's okay. We're going to make it on our own. Destiny infiltrated my mate's Discord. Get Pauline Hanson on the Drew show. Drew, any idea if your preference Labour over Liberal or the other way around? I don't like Dutton. I'm just going to say I don't like Dutton. Do you think? Oh, I'm not going to get into that. Getting 16 viewers in a few days is already top 10% surely. Look, I'm not gonna comment. It's like all right considering like I've literally just started on streaming. Compare that to like fucking Frogan, who's fully shielded by all these guys and gets like 200 viewers. If you decide to start drinking, can you get blasted on the stream? Funny. Two-state solution will never work. Look, I wish a two-state solution would work. I might end up voting for my local Labour MP. I don't know, but I don't like Albanese. It's as simple as that. And the Labour Party doesn't like me. 18 viewers, dude. Dude, I'm fine with that. I'm starting off. Like, who do you guys reckon greatest guy shills for? Do you think greatest guy is a fucking Hassan guy? I think it's probably a Hassan guy. You've been in the public eye making videos for 6 years. Dude, I only literally set up a studio to properly try at YouTube like 3 months ago. He's a Captain Dreamer guy. Yeah, probably Captain Dreamer guy. Six years in the public eye. Fuck off, man. Seriously. I only literally just started properly making YouTube videos a couple months ago. I'm not. I wouldn't vote for Albo. I wouldn't vote for Albo. Lol cows, right wing. Yeah. I think he's right wing. Yeah, greatest guys for sure. Russia, shill, fucking cringe. Let me show you something funny, guys. I went on Willie OEM's stream. Look at all the fucking schizo Kremlin comments in the background. Drew, do something. Okay, let me just quickly show you guys the comments on the Willie OEM. So I did this podcast with Willie OEM, 12,000 views. It was a good podcast or whatever. But look at all the comments. It's literally just like Kremlin shills. Why'd you put yourself through the suffering, Drew? I hate these warmongers willing to fight to the last Ukrainian. Drew's not worth anyone's time. I'm not watching. He's too annoying and ignorant. I did lose respect for you when you were platformed by Sky News to further agenda. Dude, what was I supposed to do? I was getting expelled from the University of Queensland. I had to take any media platform that would have me on because I had to try and fight back against the university trying to expel me. I didn't have many options, man. It's not like the ABC was like, come on every night, Drew. Like, ABC wasn't going to put me on. My local Labor MP running was a steel manager, which was cool, but it's a safe Liberal seat. Yeah, MW, seriously, like, what was I supposed to do, man? Because it's like the left-wing media in Australia, like, wasn't helping me. And look, in general, my view is, like, I will go on, like, whatever television or media outlet invites me on, like, I'll just share my views, right? Like, doesn't mean I'm endorsing everything Sky News says or everything Fox News says. Drew, thoughts on right wing that are very pro-Ukraine? Look, anyone who's pro-Ukraine, that's like my litmus test, right? Like, litmus test, support Ukraine, I don't mind you, seriously. Yeah, dude, look at every single Twitter account is just saying, like, kill Drew, fucking torture him, NAFO, fake bookshelf, why'd you do this? So cringe. Drew's below the pair. Doesn't even fucking make sense. Maloney. Dude, I like Maloney because she's pro-Ukraine. Every single comment is like, kill Drew. It's actually so fucking sad, man. So fucking sad. No, not Drew Pavlu. Dude, he's fully Kremlin comment. Biggie. I'd say Biggie. Do you think Trump will be removed from office before the end of his term? I don't see it because the Republicans are in like a death cult with him. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Someone said, dude, we can't see. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on. Let me change this. Let me change that. See, I get all these comments from Greatest Guy, and I literally have not even blocked him because I'm actually a very fair person. So anyway, I did this podcast with Willie OEM, and like every single comment is like pro-Kremlin. It's fucking sick. And then someone says Willie's Telegram chat is cooked with pro-Russia shills too. It's actually so fucking sad. How would you feel about entering Russia? No way I'm going. I'm not going to Russia. Not going to Russia. Like, look at every comment. I hate all these warmongers fighting to the last Ukrainian. Drew's not worth anyone's time. Oh, not that idiot. Can't lie. This guy is an idiot. Just like all these people, they're all fucking shills. I was a big proponent of the Murdoch Royal Commission, but I appreciate you saying this. Listen, man, I honestly don't think... unfortunately, I think the Murdoch thing is a really big cope for Australian left-wingers. Because at the end of the day, I think the reason why the Murdoch papers are popular in Australia is because there's a large amount of right-wingers in Australia. It's like, think about it this way, right? The Guardian Australia. Who reads the Guardian Australia? It's left-wingers. And left-wingers seek out stuff that they want to read. And I think it's just the same with the Murdoch papers. And so you could literally end Murdoch tomorrow and there'd be some other right-wing news organization that comes up. So I just think it's just like, I just think you're always going to have conservative newspapers because conservative people exist. Someone says, this is normal. You need to create a community. I'm going to create the community. Absolutely. Fan of Juice WRLD. I was listening to Carousel today. I think you'd really enjoy Sarkasmitron. He produces fantastic video essays and, like many actually good left-wing influencers, he has IRL jobs but rarely commit to the court. Interesting. Okay, Sarkasmitron. People, so I don't buy this idea that people become right wing because the Murdoch papers set the agenda of what's being talked about. I just don't buy that, right? Because, like, think of all the kids that are becoming right wing on TikTok right now. Like, they're not becoming right wing because they're reading the Australian newspaper. Like, and if they read the Australian newspaper, they probably would become less radicalized than some of the far right shit that's on TikTok. So I seriously think that at the end of the day, like, people consume the media content that they want to consume based on their pre-existing views. I honestly think that, right? Like for example, I like reading the Australian newspaper. I don't agree with everything that's in it, and I've read it for many years now, and like I still have never voted Liberal in any election in Australia, and I've still never voted right-wing in any Australian election, even though I like reading the Australian. So I just think it's like, I think it's just cope to be like, and like, for example, okay, here's another good example, right? Like, I fucking hate Trotskyists. I fucking hate the far left. I fucking hate communists. But I for a long time, I subscribed to the New Left Review because I just like to see what like I just like to see what people say, right? I just like to see what like the left-wing intellectuals are talking about. And I like to see what the right-wing intellectuals are talking about. I like to just like literally like follow all this stuff. Maybe I'm weird. I enjoy it, right? So I just don't think this whole idea that people become like right-wing or left-wing based on what they're reading, I don't really buy it. I just think people gravitate towards what they want to look at. Like, for example, New Left Review. For a long time, I subscribed to them. And yet, at the same time that I subscribe to them, I've become more conservative, probably. And it's not even because of the paper or whatever. I just like reading it because I find it interesting to see what left-wing intellectuals like. For example, I really think Perry Anderson is a really smart intellectual. I obviously disagree with him on a lot because at the end of the day, he's a Marxist. I disagree with like most of his analysis. But I still nevertheless find it interesting because he has like this scholarly, like, you know, structuralist analysis. He looks at the economy in structural terms and stuff like that. So I like reading stuff from all over the stuff. I like literally subscribe to like far right people on Telegram just to see what they're saying. I like literally follow what far left people are saying. I follow what far right people are saying. I read centrist newspapers. I literally like to read everything. Are you afraid you might get arrested if you come to the US? Yeah, dude, it's actually a little bit concerning. Like, legitimately is a bit concerning. I would love to go to America right now. I've always loved America. It's a beautiful country. I've gone there a couple of times in my life. My brother lives there. I want to go over there, see my brother. But it's a scary time right now. Like, I saw one today. Like, they literally deported a bunch of like, you know, teenage Germans. It didn't even make sense. They were backpacking through the country. They deported these like 20-year-old German backpackers. It's just crazy. If Elon invited you to sit down with Ian Armstrong on international waters of Singapore to bury the hatchet, would you do it? Absolutely. Parachute me onto the boat. Yeah, that's the funny thing, Vietran. I actually agree with you, right? Like, the realist Marxists and the socialists are actually smart. So they're the type that'll like literally go and read like the Financial Times and stuff like that. And those people are actually smart, and I actually appreciate their analysis, even though I fucking hate I hate Marxism. But I appreciate their analysis because I find it interesting from an intellectual perspective. Like, yeah, and they're just so much smarter than the tankies, of course, obviously. Wait, Vietram, what are you talking about in terms of due process? Why would a CIA asset be scared to go to the US? Dude, I never was a CIA asset. I wish I was. They recently arrested my friend for speaking out against Trump. Be careful, Drew. I have to say, guys, I'm pretty tired because it's almost midnight here. Favorite Southeast Asian country? I don't know. I've not traveled enough in Southeast Asia. Maybe Singapore. But I'd like to go to I really want to go to Vietnam. There's a lot of countries I want to visit. I want to go to Cambodia and piss on Pol Pot's grave. I think it'd be funny. Have you seen the new H3 video with Bad Empanada sending death threats to Ethan Klein? Dude, he's fucking mental. Okay, I said I was going to talk about Bad Empanada, but like, maybe I'll do that in my next stream. Someone says, you barely stream for an hour, Drew. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm like fully fucking tired. It's midnight. I'll try stream in the morning maybe. Why would anyone trust low IQ TSA type government functionaries who were in charge of immigration before to handle it now? They could invent some reason to deport you or even lock you up in an El Salvador prison. Laws and due process mean nothing anymore. Vietran, this is an interesting question, right? Because obviously, like, you live in Vietnam. Like, to what extent do you think there are like fair laws? Like to what extent do you reckon due process exists in Vietnam? Like, a genuine question. I'm actually interested. But you started too late. Yeah, look, I fully agree. I fully admit that it was my fault. I was trying to finish like a YouTube video that we're working on. I'll have that out tomorrow. I want to before I leave, I want to just quickly get Vietran's thoughts because it's interesting. I literally learn a bit about Vietnamese politics from Vietram. You've lasted an hour. That's moderately edge-worthy. Fuck off. Do you ever dream about Jackson Hinkle? No. Tired, guys. I'm tired, I have to say. How much money do you earn from online things? About half my income comes from online stuff. It's not enough for me to quit my job yet, but I hope that I'll be able to make it a full-time gig. My goal is to be able to hopefully make a proper living off this stuff by the end of the year. I'm able to make about 50% of my income just through my main income stream is Twitter ad revenue, and I'm actually averaging about 2,000 Australian dollars a month on that, and then I make like $500-600 on Patreon. It's pretty good. I can't complain. I'm really lucky, but it's unfortunately not enough to live off in Australia because cost of living is so expensive in Australia. So I have to try and earn more income. So I still have my day job, but the goal is hopefully by the end of the year I'll be able to build up enough subscribers. Keep your day job, bro. Do you sleep in a bunk bed? Hell yeah. Due process exists here, LMAO, but they can just twist it however they want. Some of the laws are so ambiguous for that exact reason. Yeah, a lot of authoritarian states do that, where like the laws are so vague so that they can basically choose when and where they want to enforce it. And unfortunately, that's a scary thing. They're now doing that in America. What do you do for work? I work as like a law clerk. I basically work as a legal assistant to Tony Morris, the lawyer who helped me against UQ. True. Drew, it is very sad you're ending so early. Some of us were waiting all day on your stream. So true. So true. But yeah, guys, I'll try stream in the morning. I'll wait just for the sake of it. I'll wait until we hit 60 minutes at least, because 58 minutes right now. While the US has like 3 branches to keep each other in check, but now they don't follow the system anymore. Yeah, that's a sad thing. Like constitutionally, it should be fine, but they don't follow the system. Can you give a video tutorial on tying a tie? Thank you. The next one, maybe the next video, I'll try that. Thank you, guys. Are you pro-republic or pro-monarchy in Australia? I think the current system of constitutional monarchy is a good system. I wouldn't trust like the far left to try build a different alternative constitutional order for Australia right now, because the Australian identity is so in flux. You literally have people marching the street saying, burn down Australia, destroy Australia. So given that background, I don't really think it's a good idea to fully change the entire constitutional structure of Australia and remove the head of state. Sound off on Amy Therese, Oz's finest. I think I've fought with her before on Twitter. Can you investigate Turkish barbers and money laundering? I'll look into that. Favorite Greek book? Thank you for the question. Favorite Greek book? That's a good question, actually. I don't know. Maybe like the Odyssey or something like that. That's good. That's a good answer. Good video if you wanted one would be Mehdi Hassan's interview with Victor Gao. It's a shame that Mehdi Hassan's good on China because he's really horrible on a lot of stuff when it comes to Islamism and stuff like that. Yeah, listen, I'd say that the current constitutional system in Australia works, and I don't think it's like a good idea to fully change it. Throw in the towel. Another failed stream. 15 viewers average. Dude, fuck off, greatest guy. I'm not throwing in the towel. I've done this for 8 days in a row. I'm going to keep going until 100 days. That's a promise. We're going to do it. And yeah, eventually we're going to make it. Someone says, why did the ancient Greek blokes all bang each other and be gay? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Been in the media for 6 years, making videos promoted by Sky News, etc., only to get 14 viewers. Dude, I basically like withdrew from the media public spotlight for many years. I basically withdrew. I'm literally following my own top path. Greatest guy's funny as fuck. Yeah, we got to appreciate all his comments because his comments are actually helping us boost the stream. Anyway, guys, I'm going to head tonight because it's midnight for me. It's 11:52 p.m. here. But I'm going to try and stream in the morning. I appreciate all your help. If you're watching on YouTube, consider liking and subscribing. I really appreciate it. And this is my 8th day of streaming in a row. 8 days of streaming in a row. We keep on going until we hit 100. All right, guys. Bless you all. Happy Easter. Thank you for having me. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. God bless you all. Boost Drew. Yes. Christos Anesti, buddy. Thank you, brother. Alistos Anesti. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Even thank you, greatest guy. I even have to thank the haters because they're helping us boost the stream. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll try see if I can stream in the morning. See if I can stream in the morning Australia time, which would be nighttime America time. I got to try that out because the past couple of days I've been streaming, nighttime Australia time, and it's morning in America. And a lot of my audience is in America these days. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much. See you guys.